Good morning, students. In the last weeks, we have discussed two chapters, that is, A Letter to God and the poem Dust of Snow. So today, we are going to revise the chapters. Let's see what all happened in the lessons. The first lesson, A Letter to God by G.L. Fewds, tells about the protagonist. The protagonist of the lesson was Lenjo, the farmer, the hardworking farmer, whose field was destroyed by the hailstorm suddenly. But he had deep faith in God and he decided to write a letter to God asking for some money for the survival of his family. And he went to the post office and write a letter to God. And the postman was surprised or laughing seeing the address. But the postmaster, moved by the faith of of that man in God, and he decided to collect money and send to him. So he collected money from his fellow employees, from his friends, and he himself has put a portion of the money, and he sent that money around what he asked for, not much what he asked for, but some money in the name of God. Next day, Lenjo was not at all surprised by the letter which contained money, but he was wondering at the amount contained in the letter, because he asked for 100 pesos but he got only 70 pesos, and he thought like, yeah, the God might not make a mistake, so it must be a mistake from the part of the post office employees, and he called them a bunch of crooks. So the story deals with the conflicts between human and nature and human, and also it tells about the staunch faith of that little poor farmer. And he gives us a lesson to have faith in something, like faith in yourself or faith in God. Hope you have enjoyed the lesson. The next lesson is a poem, Dust of Snow. It was written by Robert Frost. As you know, Robert Frost, you have studied the poem Rod Not Taken. He normally writes poems closely attached with nature. So here also he had taken some symbols from the nature itself, that is a dust of snow. And he tells how the snow had changed his mood. It was a winter season and he was passing by the hemlock tree, and a crow sitting on the tree has shook some dust of snow on his body. And suddenly what happened? His mood was completely changed from that of sad to happy. So he said like that some part of the day that had been saved, which will become rude, isn't it? So in the poem, Robert Frost has used many symbols and many literary devices, and hence even though it is a small poem consisting of 8 symbol lines. And what was the message of the poem? Don't take everything in don't take everything in don't take everything in granted, everything for granted. Whatever you are, even though they are negative things, it has a chance to make you happy. So we have gone through the chapters, right? Hope you have understood all the both of the lessons. So now what you have to do is, I'm giving you some questions, simple questions, just to check about your understanding of the lessons. So these are the questions. Who was Lenjo and where did he live? Second question, how did the rain start? Third, how did the hailstorm affect Lenjo's fields? And what was Lenjo's only hope? Fifth, what did he write to God? Sixth, why did the postman laugh? What did the postmaster feel towards Lenjo? And what made Lenjo write another letter? Okay, ninth question, find out some metaphors from the lesson. From the lesson, A Letter to God. You can find out as many you can, but minimum of 3 should be there. And find out the usage of negatives for emphasis from the lesson. There are instances where negatives are used for emphasis. We have studied in our exercises. Find out minimum of 3. Next, from the questions from the poem Dust of Snow. Who is the speaker in the poem Dust of Snow? Why do you think that the poet had used hemlock tree and crow rather than using other beautiful trees and birds? How did the mood of the poem change? And what is enjambment? Which are the rhyming words in the poem? That's all. We have 15 questions from both of the chapters. They are simple questions. You can write it between 2 sentences, 2 to 3 sentences of maximum, not more than that. Write it in your notebook, write revision and give a heading revision and write all the questions and write the answers and send to me. Don't forget it. There are some students who didn't send the notebook even, but this is compulsory. You have to write it and send to me. Okay. Thank you.